Hello everyone, it's Makayla and welcome to my 6 a.m. morning routine. Technically my alarm goes off at 5:51, then I snooze it a couple times until like 6:10, which is when I get up. Here's some typical background Chicago noise that I often get to wake up to. And then of course the obligatory phone drop, which usually does happen every single time that I film, so for the sake of a routine I figured I'd actually leave that in this time. If I don't have a lot of homework, I'll play my Scrabble turns at this time because I usually have like 20 games going on with different family members through the Scrabble app. But if I do have some homework going on, and I do because it is midterms week, I will work on that. And I don't like to do any hard homework during the morning because it's just not favorable, I think. But I will just get done some readings maybe if they're easy enough. This morning I decided to do some reading for Know My Name by Chanel Miller. It's the book that we're reading for Feminist Book Club. And then around 6:45 I will go to the bathroom. And as you can see right here, I take out my retainers, literally just spit them into the container. After that, while I'm still in my pajamas, I might do some picking up because sometimes if I have a lot of homework in the evening, I'll go to bed and leave things a little bit untidy in my room, which isn't what I prefer to do, but it does happen. This was one of those mornings I had some stuff to pick up, like my umbrella. It was raining the day before, and then I also just picked up some stuff on my bed and desk. Then around 7 a.m., while my mom gets ready for work, we'll FaceTime just because we're both just kind of getting ready for the day, and it's an easy, good time to stay on the call with her and catch up. I also like to go through my planner and write down everything that I need to do for the day, both to literally know what I have to do for homework, but then also just to prepare mentally because I just need lots of time to compose myself before a Zoom meeting, hence why I go through my planner each morning. I then attempt to make myself at least remotely presentable. As you can see here, I'm holding a pair of pants that I did not end up wearing because I tried it on and changed my mind. Every morning I also do a little spritz with this body spray, and it has glitter in it too, so it's very fun. And then I brace myself for the light of day and pull open my shades, and also make my bed. Sometimes it's not this neat, and I wish I could tell you it looks like this every morning, but to be perfectly honest, it does not. And then the most difficult part of my morning, trying to wrangle my hair into something that doesn't look like a bushy, mangled mess. I only opted for what you would think is a simple ponytail today, but I'm going to have to fast forward this because it took a long time for me to gather up my hair and make it as smooth as possible, which ultimately is not very smooth at all. It's just impossible, and I have to accept the fact that it's going to stay bumpy on the top of my head because my hair just refuses to cooperate. I usually eat breakfast at about 7:45 in the morning, and on nice days I will walk to the dining hall, but if it's not nice out, if it's a little bit chilly, I am just not going to bother, so I'll make some oatmeal in my room. My morning routine for oatmeal consists of putting in just enough water so that it's moist, I guess you could call it, but I like it to be very stiff. I do not like my oatmeal to be runny. I put it in the microwave for about a minute and a half, then I stir it all up and add peanut butter so that the peanut butter is able to melt, because melted peanut butter is just the best thing. I mean, it tastes amazing, but also just spreading it around with a spoon is so much fun. And then I will put fruit on top usually, or raisins. 2 videos ago, I realized this when I was eating my toast, and now it has occurred to me once again that I eat weird, but this time with oatmeal. I didn't even notice that I did this, but I like to take a big amount on my spoon and then kind of nibble at it. It just looks so weird in this time lapse. But I finished breakfast like right before 8 so that I have time to brush my teeth before my 8 a.m. Zoom meeting. This is for Power Identity Resistance, which is my core class for the social sciences, and it goes from 8 till 8:40 because the class is divided in 2 groups. And essentially each class we just discuss the reading and present on it, and then we talk about the elements of it and questions we have, that sort of thing. Right now we're currently reading The Origins of Totalitarianism by Hannah Arendt. I expected it to be just a dry philosophy on totalitarianism, but it's actually kind of a history of it, and it's also very deeply horrifying because it goes into how the Nazis came into power, but I have been enjoying this text just because I feel like I'm learning so much from it. Class ends at 8:40, so I have until 9:40, the start time of my next class, to do homework. And since my next class, which is Cardiopulmonary Responses to Stress, I have a midterm in this particular morning, I decided to review for the midterm. I'd been studying all week, but I just wanted to kind of refresh everything before the test. Most of the things on the test were basically about the heart, the circulatory system, cardiac controls, the vascular system, and also about COVID and the vaccine, which is very interesting because the professor has kind of personalized the course to include COVID. It's been so interesting to learn about because before I was just like, yeah, it's a virus, but like now I feel like I can better understand actually how it works, why it impacts us, and how a lot of COVID patients are negatively affected in the respiratory sense. So I have been enjoying this class, even though I'm really not a science person usually. So at 9:40 I sat down to join my Zoom for biology, and then usually it goes until 11, but we got out early because of the midterm today. And then because I didn't feel like sitting on my screen for much longer, I instead decided to do the dishes, which granted is not something that's very stimulating, but it's better than being on my computer. So I just washed a bowl and my water bottle. You are now going to witness me talking to myself for quite a while because I also had a Spanish midterm coming up on the next day, so I rehearsed for a while just talking to myself in Spanish and practicing coming up with sentences. I did this for maybe a half an hour, and again, usually I don't have this much time before lunch, but it was because of my bio midterm that I had extra time to go through homework today. And then the remainder of my morning routine surprisingly consists of homework. So, sorry this is so repetitive, but basically I was editing my essay for my midterm for Power Identity Resistance, which is an essay on guilt in the context of Nietzsche and Freud. I already wrote the essay, but I just needed to go through and reread it. And then my finger started bleeding halfway through, so I had to put a Band-Aid on it. After I finished editing, I got ready to go out to just pick up some things. So first I put on my Darth Vader socks, as you can see, and then there are always certain things that I do every single time that I leave my dorm. So obviously I put on my coat, but then I always make sure that I have my phone with me. I didn't show that because I was using my phone to record, but then also my ID key to get into buildings, and then I also double mask because COVID, and there's a variant going around, so better safe than sorry. And once I'm all ready to go, I will grab my trash if I have any to throw out on my way, and then I will leave my dorm. I cannot walk by the flowers without admiring them on my way to the dining hall, and because this is a routine video, I'm subjecting you to them as well. Whenever I enter the dining hall, I always use the same 2 fingers to open up the door to keep my hand as clean as possible, and then once I'm inside, I can hand sanitize. So that's why I'm kind of grabbing it like a claw. It looks a little bit weird, but it works. If I need any food like peanut butter or anything, I'll stop in that store, but then I proceed to the stairs, and after hand sanitizing, I go through to swipe in to go to the dining hall.
Thank you so much.
Usually I'll kind of walk around the whole area before I choose what I want, just to make sure that I don't miss anything because there's so many yummy foods in there. But I always just end up at the herbivore station getting some kind of tofu or tempeh, seitan, beans, lentils, that sort of thing. And then on my way back from the dining hall, I took a detour to go to the mailroom because my grandmother had sent me a little package, and she sent so many kind things, and I feel so bad because it was so nice of her, but it was nice to receive that. And then the moment that I get back inside my dorm, I always wash my hands first, which is probably kind of obvious because of the way that I opened up the doors at the dining hall. And then I put away all my food that's extra because sometimes I accumulate more food than necessary if I don't feel like walking back out for dinner later. I also often grab some extra butters or maybe some pineapple too to keep on hand. Once I put everything into the fridge, I returned to my room, and I still had some time until it was actually lunch. So I resumed reading my book club book until it was noon. So that, I guess, is the entirety of my AM schedule. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week.